And we're live. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of House of Tremere, episode 15. I hope you're excited for some uh, chaotic diving into mysteries of the blood as we unravel perhaps some interesting bits of tidbits about the world of darkness. Potentially the existence of well, kindred kind. I hope you're excited for today's session, and we're gonna go dive right into our introduction. Let's start off with Dr. Quangle. Cyberbro, why don't you give an introduction?
All right. Hello and welcome. I am Cyberbro. I'll be reprising my role as Dr. Quentin Quangle, expert in the flesh and the mind.
Up next, Hasib. Zach, why don't you give us your introduction?
Sure thing. I am here, and I am Zach. I am also Hasib for tonight, and Hasib, the perpetual student and kind-hearted Tremere, which is antithetical in many ways. He is here to make sure we all stay alive, and that the family, even if the pyramid is crumbling, the family is still together. We might crumble together, but at least we're together.
Very nice. Up next, Maruna. Give us your.
Everyone, I'm Ree. I play Maruna. The tarot card reading should have been a Malkavian of the Tremere house here. And ready to play.
Uh, and last but certainly not least, Geordie. Bob, why don't you give us your intro?
Bob here, taking time, Bob. I'm playing Jordy, the regent and mid-level manager of the Tremere.
There. And I am your storyteller for tonight's events, Mark, aka the CatsMeow. And with that, I think we can begin to dive right in. Uh, why don't we start off with dive into right in. Once again, another radio splutters to the cool sound static is replaced by the even cooler, smooth voice of the program's host. Still with me, New Anglin? It's late. Later than you think. Some of you are cleaning up messes, while others are just getting started. And a few of you are lying awake, wondering how everything got so weird so fast. You know, there's something about this city. Every time you think you've got the script figured out, someone switches the pages on you. Maybe you quit your job, and you find out that your new boss is worse. Maybe you finally say what you've been holding in. You have radio silence back. Not bad luck. It's not fate. It's just, irony. So here's one from the Queen of Uncomfortable Truths. Straight out of 95. If you're looking for answers, you might not find them in this one. But at least you'll feel seen. Is Alanis Morrissey with Ironic. Try not to slip on the rain, darlings. With that calm music hitting, sweet and simple, kind and harsh. I think with that, who would like to lead with this week's recap of last session?
I know a couple things for sure from Hasib's notebook, but people might have to fill in the spots that I miss. I think so. At the very beginning of the night, I think we had another meeting to discuss what to do. Hasib at least went to the forums, found out that there was a lot of talk about Gehenna, end times, figures of biblical origins, and a lot of crazy talk as well. Something about hunters that are coming and to be scared of them, whatever that means. I don't know. At the meeting, we also talked about a couple things. I believe we talked about the missing prince. We also talked about the meeting, the Elysium coming up, and the gargoyle on the loose, the Unbowed. We did make a plan on how to contact the Unbowed, which we eventually did, but not right then. I believe we needed to also catch a bird for a ritual. And Maruna and Hasib went to go catch a bird. But what else did we talk about other than going to see the Nosferatu for some information to possibly get the museum artifact and maybe enlist the help of the Nosferatu at a later time? What else did we talk about at that meeting?
From Quangle's perspective, a big thing for him was confirming that he wouldn't be going to his wife's, excuse me, to his wife's lecture, as he is compromised. So he humbly requested to go to Elysium with Jordy when the time comes.
I mean, I'm sure that's not awkward to be around the estranged wife. I'm sure.
Exactly. And was that the meeting where Quangle offered to change Hasib's face, or was that a previous episode?
I think that was previous, and we were still discussing it. It was still on the board, and we haven't really approached that again, which we'll probably need to if we're going to be doing anything with the museum.
Yeah.
However, let's see. We learned more about. We had a vision. Who had the vision of the seed placed with the 7 people and how the Tremere were essentially created? Was that Jordy talking to the spirit of the chantry?
Yeah.
And as you do, talking to unknown magical and mystical entities, it probably is good that we're learning these things. It seems like we have the ritual scroll. We know we need a seed placed on the body of a powerful being, which may or may not be the biblical daughter of Eve, I believe it was. And we had a name. I think it was Celine Francis. And we got to hunt that one down because it seems like that Toreador, that nasty Toreador that has sway over Maruna, may also be looking for Celine. Some of us needed to feed. We were very hungry. And as the rule is, we can't go out alone. So Kes, Maruna, and Hasib went out to feed at the college library. You know, a lot of late night studiers cramming for the weekend, and we found some nice pickings there, nice and pleasant. Until we came across a new friend, maybe an old friend as far as Kes goes, Anastasia. She she may or may not have had a past with Kess. I don't know about what kind of past, but it was something because she is odd and really wanted us to join her, which we did because it's on the way to the Nosferatu, who we need information from. And yeah, so we left, walked through a rave, underground rave, which are, that's a vampire scene for sure. May have picked up some glow sticks and shoved them into our back pockets that nobody knows about. And now that is where we're at.
Anything else people would like to add?
Sorry, just that Anastasia. She was very eager to bring Maruna and Kess with her, and we kind of negotiated that Hasib is part of the deal or no deal.
It's true. Something to add, Bob?
No, I think we can leave it for in character.
I think in start with sound, ironic, powerful, and strong. It is then quickly cut off as we return back to the rave scene. The music thumps and radiates around the room, filling everyone energy, power. As we watch the group of three, Hasib, Maruna, and Cass, make their way toward back elevator in this abandoned subway, they find themselves stepping in, traveling down this with their newly made acquaintance, friend. At least to Cass, it seemed like it was something perhaps previous. Nonetheless, Anastasia begin to descend its creepy old elevator service. With that, it's just the four of you. The conversation you have as the elevator is slow down. Sound of the rave above begins to fade.
So, is there anything that we should make sure to be prepared for?
No,
No,
any of you.
not any of you at least.
Hear myself.
So I can hear myself.
No.
Hasib will kind of bounce on his toes a little bit. He looks excited. The rave got him in a very good mood, and he looks to the others with a smile. So, is there anything? Well, I know, Anastasia, you have cast for something. Is there something we can do? Assist with?
No. The matron handle. No? I suppose you
Perfect. And Steve smiles. There's something like cracks a little bit in his pocket, and it starts to glow a little brighter. And he Just wait. He has his notebook out already, jotting down notes.
Marina looks towards Hasib's pocket, kind of just tilts her head slightly, raises an eyebrow.
There's probably a green glow stick in there, or that, or he has some kind of magic spilling forth from his pocket.
She kind of just nods. And is Cass gonna be joining us too, or do you have other plans?
Rather talk privately. That's all right. Just kind of look at the two. Kind of not. He does not seem worried. Or perhaps he seems overly worried. Hard to tell. Hard to tell with Cat.
It's fine with Cass. It's fine with me.
But as long as we stay in the general area, we have to stay together. We can't be alone. It is the rules.
That's true.
Won't be far. Won't be far at all.
Does the mage? Oh,
No, you go ahead.
does the matron have a name? It is a lovely title.
The only name concerned.
Oh, okay. And he jots down literally that onto his notepad.
With that, you hear the creaking sound. The doors having to by Anna. As she steps forward and gestures for you to follow with a calm smile on her face towards yes. And then a look of ambivalence towards it.
Marina will step out. Follow her. Kind of keep her eyes peeled as they go through for any not only any physical sights or signs of anything, but also any feelings that anything might give her.
You carry on forward, you find yourself moving. A bit that has been dug out as in preparation for it underground. I said the word before, a subway. However, there is a point where you find that it stops abruptly and the construction there, where there's kind of scaffolding abandoned. As well, you do notice a bit where it looks like bricks have been broken down as they hit a something.
It's been like this for a while.
Oh yes. Since the 70s. At least that's what I'm. This bit. This has been here far long.
How long?
He shrugs. As you step through, you looks to be almost an ancient temple. It's large, marble-like bricks have been set up along the. It's hard to tell if it's clay or stone, but it's certainly heavy. Base. The place looks beautifully carved, almost as if the location itself could be. As you see, there looks to be a number of stone dais and stone seating that is lit. See, there looks to be
How far does this go?
I'm not too sure. I've never seen all of it. Just the bits I needed.
How far is the matron?
Not far. Far at all. She begins.
This is beautiful. This looks like a temple. Look at this marble. Who is this? The matron's temple, or was it here before the matron?
Before the matron stepped foot in these lands.
Hasib's keeping his eyes peeled now for anything that may hint as to what deity or religious connotations this place may have.
Academics.
All right. Three success.
Ah. Looking around, you're not actually quite sure what this is a temple to. You see a number of statues that seem to be depicting beautiful women, or at least feminine figures. A few of them seem to actually have veils that have been placed on top of like large stone and marble statues. You can also see a number of depictions along the walls. These large painted frescoes of scenes of large naturescapes, uh, massive valleys, waterfalls. Yet each of them are depicted at night, with a shining half moon in the sky.
Seems pretty peaceful. I'm sure
From what
we're
you can
safe.
tell- From what you can tell, it doesn't seem to match any particular religion that. In fact, a couple of them you actually look at and you think they're Greek statues, like depictions of Artemis and Hera and such like that. A couple of them you don't even recognize. It seems like almost as if this is a collection of many different sculptures and depiction beings. As you make your way deeper, halls, hallowed or perhaps unhallowed place, you eventually find yourself into a room that opens almost like an amphitheater. And as you do, you can see a figure standing at the far end. This large fresco on the wall. The figure herself is wearing a black wedding dress and a veil that covers her. You would recognize as the woman you have seen before.
Hello.
The voice echoes the hall. Hello. Oh. Figure does not. With that, Anna turns to S, whispers something to him. Or Cass says, "Be far. Don't stray." At Cass and
Of course.
kind of different.
Myrna will approach the woman in the veil, presumably the matron, until she's standing beside her. You summoned me here?
Child, see.
What do you mean?
She looks up. As
Myrna
you-
turns at it.
Oh, you see a figure of a woman that holds in her arms a man who down. You see 3 large black chest, or rather lower near his gut. You can see that she holds him maternal, protective, and caring.
See. An injured man. A woman nursing, caring for him. A mother, perhaps, or someone motherly. The protection of the divine feminine.
What else do you truly see what needs to be seen?
She looks at it again. Kind of she looks at it the way that she would look at her cards, which is to zoom out a little bit and try not to focus too much on the details, but on what it's saying to her.
Focusing. I would like you to make a perception occult. So we stand at difficulty. Hasib, you just see what I've just.
Hasib is staying quiet. He may like jot down something in his notepad from time to time, but he's staying a few steps back.
Five, six. You focus your sight, your ability to see the unseen. That's when things rise, details that hadn't been used. See the ground beneath them is covered in thick red blood. See the wounds, chest bleeding out. And you notice the wounds are much bigger than they were. No longer these black cuts, but deep red. Notice the woman's hand, originally over the wounds as if protecting them. Now you see in her grip she holds the guts of the man. His internal organs, though hard to make out, are twisted in her grip, as if she was pulling them. You see the man's face etched with pain. Pain and a much darker Yet the woman's face has not changed. It's almost maternal, loving. But there is something to the eyes that is a glint that is uncaring, that is merciless.
A sacrifice. Or just a predator. There's blood everywhere. Something's wrong. Or maybe that's how it's supposed to be, I'm not sure. But I see it, I see. See what's underneath.
We see soft smile form veil. I see you just see what, and for you, Maroon, though you try to blink it away, the image does not disappear. You can feel the pain radiate off of this depiction. Predator, you say. Tell me, child. To which is the predator and which is the prey?
It's never that simple.
Right. It's not that simple. I am glad to hear it's true.
What is true?
You are the one that I've been looking for so long. One sea of other faces. Like I can. Feature before me. Just for Fresco. Her faces, though hidden, are in plain sight. Veiled the eyes of those not meant to stand them. But you see it, don't you?
To protect doesn't mean to go, doesn't mean to always be merciful.
One does not learn lessons, see. You learn it from pain, scars. That you watch as she begins to turn, starts walking.
Marina will follow her.
Hasib looks like a dog that just had both of its like owners go two different directions, and he like looks this way and that, and um oh, right, and he'll follow Varuna.
That as you eventually arrive at this one depicting a tree on which on a fruit of some sort hangs. It's hard to make out exactly what it is, and you see a woman from the ground up to lift it, as if to pluck it from the. From the tree, you see a snake hangs in its branches. This is a classical depiction of Eve. But you are quite sure there is something far more. Need but look behind. Would you like to?
Yes.
Perception occult of 7. Also, while this is happening, everyone, except Jordan.
Could I use heightened senses?
Not.
Okay, that's fine.
Two success. As you look deeply at this depiction, you see that below the tree there is a number of rotted fruit. You can almost smell the pungent smell of it. It's sickly sweet. And you can see the figure is. You watch as the serpent in twist around its branches, reaching down for the snake turn. You look into its eye, see a unnatural influence to it.
I think she would try to speak to it. You see me, don't you?
The head slow.
Do you have something to tell me?
Before it eventually down to its fangs bend, drop of poison all fruit that hangs before the fruit is plucked from. It then looks back at you.
Why did you do that?
Continue to stare. From the perspective of you, Hasib, Bruna just started talking to.
Yeah, funnily enough, this is not out of sorts for Maruna, and Asif just sort of nods like, ah, yeah, let me jot that down. That's a normal thing. He's more he's looked at the fresco and it's pretty normal to him. I think he gets the connotations of it, but doesn't see anything beyond. He's more interested in watching the matron's reaction. He doesn't exactly trust her, seeing as this is all kind of odd to have a temple, an ancient temple under in the subway, behind the subway, you know.
She'll take another step toward the painting and kind of reach out towards it to touch it gently.
Reach out, you want serpent. And moving down, slithering the stones. Eventually,
Sure.
it reaches inches away. And
So reach up.
stare. Head back. Suddenly, it lashes out at you. However, before it can reach your hand, Hasib, to you, in a flash of speed, the matron grabs Maruna's hand and pulls it back. Maruna, suddenly you're staring back at the, as it was when you first saw it. The vision of the serpent ill twisted up branches. If it had not moved.
What would have happened?
Same that happens to all serpent. That she turns further down.
Myrna will follow her again.
Hasib slowly takes his hand out of his pocket as he looks to Maruna and whispers as he starts to follow along. Are you okay? What was that?
I'm fine. She'll kind of look back towards the painting again, towards the serpent. It almost bit me.
The fresco with the it bites. I didn't see any teeth.
No, not the painting, the serpent in the painting.
Oh. Hasib nods, clearly not understanding, but just nodding anyway.
You didn't see it change.
I no. It is a very well painted snake, but I didn't see it move.
That's right. You'll see it eventually, I think.
Oh, that's good. Is it good to see it move?
I don't know. But I think I meant to.
Right, right. Well, if it helps, then then it'll help us understand. Just let me know what I can do. I'm not sure what I can do if I can't see.
She'll just put a hand on his shoulder. I just appreciate you being here, honestly. I don't know what I'm gonna see next, but so far none of it has been particularly pleasant.
Out of
Important things
your eye,
rarely
you
are.
see as you turn to look,
She'll
there's no one.
she'll start walking faster and kind of
You're
grab
making
his arm and just pull him a little bit.
as you make see it again. Figure in the corner. Each time you turn to look, it's more.
Is someone here?
Did you see something? Hasim looks around nervously. Another painting?
Not a painting this time. I think there's someone here with us. She'll I think turn on aura perception.
Before.
Yep.
As you look around, you see bits of color. This place is filled with spiritual energy, motion, sense, but still linger like ghosts. You see spirits of devotion, energies of love. You also see deep energy, pain, anger. The art themselves look as if they've been used with a... It's almost hypnotic. You make your way down the hall. The pale, calm aura of the matron.
This place is so loud.
That a large depiction of a night landscape. Figures stand in the middle, almost encircled around the... looks almost like some sort of ritual. You see in the sky emblazed is a half moon. That speak. I knew it from the moment I heard about it. Since we were notified. You have power. But you have the potential to be one of us. What do you see, Marie? What do you see? Sky.
She'll turn and look at it. Obviously seeing the moon. She'll try to look deeper.
Last perception occult difficulty 8.
I'm gonna use willpower for this.
Cool. You also have an extra dice
Oh,
if you would like to use it.
thanks. Yeah, and it didn't roll my extra dice from the willpower, which I thought it would do automatically.
Willpower just gives you an auto success.
Oh, an auto success. Got it.
But you can
So it
roll
should be
the
3.
extra. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Unfortunately, no, but that's still 3 successes, so I'll take it.
You got an extra dice too from Professor Tone.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just
that was the
rolled
one I
it.
was talking.
Thank you.
Okay, just making sure.
Thanks.
With that, as you stare deep, feel as if you one scene. Feel the roaring of the warmth mixed with the cold of the midnight air. See as the figures around are dancing, singing, and chanting. See the figure standing in the middle of upon a large dais, looking up towards the half moon. See a face. The figure in the center couldn't be older than 18, maybe even young. A young girl placed at the center of it. Hear the voice of the as if she was next to you. From the moment I heard 1 hour sight was taken in by the blood of the usurpers, I knew that you. I know what it is like to have your life stolen from you. For I have gone from the same. But a humble farmer's before I was stolen. You watch as the dancing begins. You see some of these figures have the heads of wolves. It is hard to know if they are wearing a helm that is depicting a wolf, or if they have the actual heads of their bodies. Nonetheless, they continue to dance and sing and chant. You see some of the other figures have large fangs and pale skin, blood dripping down from them. It is hard, and it is harsh. Know that the mother has not abandoned you, as she never abandoned. You asked for my life. Called me bride. Ironic. Never marry. Instead, I was stolen by monsters, but welcomed by those who could see true faces of the mother. Watch as the figures dancing around the begin to tear into their own flesh, digging, claw, rip, and tear at their skin, causing blood to spill forth onto the ground. I learned pain, teacher. Begin to blood flowing, cuts and lesions growing upon your skin as you watch blades and nails begin to do the same to those who dance around. Stop and figure in the middle. With that, everything comes into child, the last of Eve, stands within them. Tears softly fall down as you watch the monsters around. Watch as they grab onto her body, head. You watch as claws and fangs sink deep in the flesh of the child, tearing and rendering them limb from limb. We were born of dark blood, and from dark blood shall we be made. Mother has given us a gift, shall not waste it. Dear Maru, since we first heard that you knew that you were join us, sister. The grand dance of the Dark Mother. We shall upon the very heavens themselves. Watch as the dark moon begins to tear open. A shower of blood falls upon the last daughter of a deluge that rips forth as the dancing figures begin to grow black, bloody that begin to tear forth into the ground and world around them, reaching up towards the heavens. You see blood rain down, misery and pain, death and destruction. The Dark Mother promises it all for her children. All the love, all the misery, pain and pleasure wrapped into one. You see figures beating and whipping themselves. You join children, Lilith, the Baha. Then see the figure once again stand. But this time as you turn, see them. Your sire, desperate and frantic, looking at you as he says, wordlessly, mouthing, "Run. Run. Run!" Suddenly, you snap back to reality. But you can feel that your nails have been digging into your palm. Till blood has spilled. Lightly. Just a few. So glad when Mokaro informed us existence. Are you amused?
What do you want me to do?
Bring forth a child. Ritual. All we could ever desire will be ours. This is your destiny. This is why the Dark Mother sent you to us. One who can see her faces. Pierce beyond the veil.
There's death and destruction and pain. I don't. Yes, it's necessary sometimes. It's part of life. It's part of all things, but to bring it forth, to sentence all of humanity and kindred to that, I don't understand why.
Oh, sweet child. Almost motherly strokes you. Existence is an abomination. Gifted to us, no, cursed to us by a cruel entity. We can be free of it. All of us. The ultimate.
To no longer exist.
Be free.
She is going to take a step back. There has to be another way.
See the smile, veil, fall. There is no other child. We're running out of time. All of us.
She's going to go kind of step toward Hasib. And she is going to take his hand. And she is going to run.
Okay. That and you. The matron does not. Hasib, are you being dragged behind or you want to? Okay.
If Hasib caught all of that, how much he actually understands, I don't know, but that sounds awful to destroy existence. He does not like that. How else will we have study parties if we don't exist? So, he is also running. He probably got yanked a little bit as he is standing there a bit shaken, but he will start to run too.
That word she has gifted ring. And a question is, who is it that she spoke of? Who was it that told her about you? It's at this point we cut to a different scene. We see Kess and Aunt. We then watch as a looming shadow step down off. Then watch as the shadow steps through the. Kess turns to look with a horrified as we see the figure of Caius. With that, we cut back to the chantry. With that, what are our other Tremere up to?
How long has it been since the visions, or the time in the basement? Let's say.
It's probably been a couple hours.
Okay. Jordy is actually in the library right now, having just basically rummaged through his old sire's office and his own office, and now seems to be poring over books. Mark, you said, I think, that we can pretty much assume most straightforward rituals are here in the library.
Yes.
If we search for it.
If you search for it, you can probably find it.
Okay. This one might be specific enough to where I should clarify. He is looking for Mirwalk.
Mirror wall.
I assumed, unless those are magical, it sounds like it behaves just like the said mirror that the regent was in. So I just assumed.
I believe that's it. If not, it's an equivalent. With that, why don't you make me an intelligence occult? This will be difficulty 7, as you know what you.
A 1. And that's actually. Does that
Actually,
count as a 2?
successes. Yeah. 2 successes do not botch on this roll, as it is supernatural. Also, you're not affected by that. So with 2 successes, it takes you about, let's say 30 minutes, but eventually you find the ritual you want. I think it's probably at this point we have Dr. Quangle stepping into here, seemingly scroll.
Just to back up a second, I sent you a message. Do you hear me?
Yes, yeah.
Awesome sauce. Sent you a message. I think in the last week about some changes Quangle wanted to make. Do you want me to roll that right now, or?
I think we'll make the roll in the moment. We'll say you've done it. See how well you've done.
Okay. Gotcha. Oh, so yes, Quankle walks in, um, uncharacteristically ignoring Jordy and triumphant. He has a triumphant, yeah, just triumphant step, you know. Um, but yes, he walks in and takes his place at the table in the library, the desk.
How far is Jordy into the studying of this ritual, or is he just sitting down? Like, where was he in the
You're
process?
say about most of the way there. About three-quarters, quarters of the way. You found the ritual and you begun the kind of study process.
Narratively, if I converse with him, it doesn't break any. Like, I can.
No,
Can
you
I?
can converse with him. It
Okay.
doesn't-
Okay. He looks up, kind of looks surprised that Quangle didn't have some kind of quirk on his, some kind of comment on his way in. He turns and says, "Dr. Quangle, is everything all right?" Oh, I think he froze. I thought it was just a stoic look. Cut to commercial.
I'll wait for. So we're back. In the meantime, stay tuned. We're back. Hello. That we can pick up where we left off.
All right. To answer Jordy's question, Quangle would look over to Jordy, smile, and say, "What do you mean, different?"
I think it's the first time you've ever entered a room I'm in without some kind of wise ass remark.
We exist in a time of change, dear Regent. Everyone is capable of it. I'm capable of change. More capable than others, it would seem.
Perhaps rather sudden.
Inspiration can be rather sudden. Breakthroughs and all. Are you having a breakthrough? What are you studying?
I'll slide the book over to Quangle.
Quangle looks at the book. How interesting. Do you think it wise to follow in the steps of our dear departed former regent?
Not necessarily, no. He was running from something. To relay a message. Where is that piece of paper again?
If I'm not mistaken, you have it.
Right. It was important. I looked around, I couldn't find it.
Are you
It
feeling
wasn't
well?
written by him. It was
Wasn't?
given to him.
How is it that you know this?
I saw it.
You saw it.
He wasn't in Europe. Saw the ball. Reunion Tower. He was in Dallas.
In Dallas, Texas. warm.
Melinda of West, Meerlinda of Wessex was there.
Mark, I would assume I know that name, right?
Question. Intelligence, politics.
Intelligence, politics. What difficulty? Ah.
What success? You know Melinda is important. Member of Planet Trip. Don't know anything more than that. You vaguely remember probably learning about someone, learning about her during your introduction to the clan. But again, you learn a lot of information exactly tonight.
Yes, you know, I have to maintain a library. I believe she came up during my onboarding, but my sire was famously short of word. Illuminate me, Jordy.
He'll stand up and he'll walk to the door. Mark is going to switch the door to his office, presuming that's probably the last place he left this note that he can't find. And then I'll look to, he'll look over to Quangle and say, "Walk with me."
No worries. You signed the check-in sheet, correct? Right? I feel like I shouldn't have to remind you to do that.
I didn't this time.
You know what? Don't worry about it. Sign it when you get back. He smiles.
With that, he'll kind of walk into the office and start looking around as he's talking. She's one of the inner council, one of the founding 7.
That's so.
Which means our regent was meeting with her, and something gave her warning enough to stop the meeting. She ran to find paper and scribbled a note down addressing specifically our regent, which tells me that whatever the note was, it was specifically bound for here.
I see. And you believe you've lost this important note, our inheritance from our previous regent.
I kind of ad-libbed that, Mark. What would you like me to do as far as looking for this note?
You'd find it pretty.
Okay.
Yes, of course.
What? Oh, you know what? It's probably under. Remember the debris he made, from smashing things. It's probably in like a pile of trash. He reaches down and finds it.
You should really have the ghouls come in here clean. This is unbecoming, if I'm being honest.
Well, it's been swept to the side. It's been a busy couple of days, hasn't it?
I suppose it has, Jody. I suppose it has.
So, the reason I'm doing this is for 2 reasons. One, out of character. One, I don't remember what the note said as Bob. 2, I'm going to play that off like Jordy was a bit distracted having his sire just dead and hasn't really given it too much thought since it didn't make a ton of sense to him at the time. Or there were too many questions.
So soon as I find.
It's not all I saw, Dr. Quengle.
Yes, about your visions. Well, let's call them visions. Now, Jody, Maruna has visions, and, well, we accept that as the way of things. You don't have visions, Jody.
You're right.
Why are you having visions?
The chantry showed me it.
You're speaking with the chantry.
Do you remember how we had to take control after the regent passed?
Yes, it was a chaotic time.
Whatever that thing is, whatever fuels this chantry is appears sentient.
Benevolent? Or as benevolent as things around here can be.
Like all magic, I think it comes with a cost.
I see. Jody, when this time passes us and we get back to some form of normality, I'm going to request to live outside the chantry. I've been thinking about this for some time, and this is kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. The chantry is alive.
We can discuss that if we can make it that far, Dr. Quengle. I don't. Between you and I, there's more odds stacked up against us than with us.
Yes. Well, our list of issues grows every day.
I saw the first ritual.
Truly,
They took a figure bound by silver nails. Using a seed, it seems like, if I understand it correctly, it's like Tremere transferred himself, or whoever the mage was, became Tremere through this sacrifice.
So, you have experience with the ritual. We have the manner in which it was done. Believe we know where the seed is. We have at least the name of the daughter of Eve. Everything's about perspective, Jody. Everything is falling right together. The puzzle was completing itself before our very eyes. We need only grasp the pieces and place them down.
We don't have the two most important pieces: the seed or the innocent.
True, but we didn't have the ritual or your experience from your visions before, and now we have those. You should be more optimistic, Jordy.
That he'd look down at the piece of paper. Unless you need me to go still mark and keep riffing. And
For
you?
the gist of it, the letter does say. I'm just gonna ad lib it. Now the letter says, the magic is failing. The pyramid is fallen.
Okay. Now, now correct me if I'm wrong, but what I saw in the vision was a group of Tremere meeting,
Yeah.
powerful Tremere. One note was written out of the whole thing for my sire who took off.
Yes.
Right? Okay. Pyramid has fallen. He looks confused as he looks to Quangle.
Mark, can I make some type of psychological roll on Jordy? He appears to be in a fog of confusion and having visions.
Sure. Make an intelligent academics or medicine.
Go with medicine.
Difficulty 8.
Difficulty 8. Viewers at home, I usually don't do well on psychoanalyzing Jordy. He is my last mystery. One day.
One success.
One day.
Again, Geordie is a hard man to read. He plays it close to the chest and really good at anything. You don't get the feeling he's trying to deceive you, but also it's possible that if he was, you wouldn't.
Michael just nods at Jordy. Just,
Whatever happened there, whatever was said, a very old Tremere thought it most important to send our former regent back here with a notice. Not any other Tremere, our regent. So what did they know?
they knew about the box. We had the box with the ritual in it. So perhaps they were counting on us to restore the pyramid or make it some other form of shape. I don't believe that truly matters. But they potentially knew that the box was here. Now, why they would leave it here, I don't know. I love my city as anyone else would, but still.
Because of the
Kind of a
chantry.
backwater. Well, of course the chantry, but it's the backwater.
What I mean is that we were able to keep that box hidden. The regent was from even his own kind, from even the gargoyles, from anyone's eye, other than the one who controlled that secret alcove.
The note does not change our path. If we wish to survive, in the way that we did before, we must complete the ritual of Tremere. If there are alternatives, I am happy to discuss them. But
I don't think there's alternatives at this point. I'd be curious to meet Mirlinda, but perhaps that's a mistake. That was my original intention. If I learn the ritual, perhaps I could restore the mirror. And I still don't know what killed the regent.
perhaps in restoring the mirror, you will release an access point for whatever was chasing the region to us.
Reasonable point. I won't be hasty on it, but it's still worth knowing the ritual.
True, true. I don't disagree. I'm just bringing up potentialities.
I've told you what I've been up to. So what has you so optimistic?
Well, I've made a breakthrough in my studies, Jordy.
Masquerade friendly.
It's hard to describe, but I am more effective than I was before.
Very well. Suppose we'll need every bit of effectiveness for it to be successful.
Will we need to have the will to use it? I was none too happy at our previous conversation with the rest of the group, doubting my abilities and skills. Before all of this, I was a doctor, a fairly well-known surgeon. Between you and I don't appreciate my abilities being called into question, nor my intent.
I think it's wise that we all very well. I don't have a good answer for you on that, Dr. Quangle. You and I haven't exactly gotten along. If it wasn't for this situation, I'd probably be spending my time trying to find a transfer for you. Perhaps somewhere even less significant than the middle of nowhere in Michigan.
Jordy, I
Things
rather like you. I don't. You hurt me. I rather like you personally.
He just looks at Quangle with complete and utter disbelief and frustration that he would say such a thing. I'm getting used to being undermined. It's not something most regents would tolerate. But I think our situation is different than the pyramid. It's time to evolve for it to survive it all.
True. Perhaps a mother's shaped like a circle of some kind. Something round. I don't know.
If
You
we're to
should.
be the ones who perform the ritual, we will be the founding, the rebirth of Tremere.
That's true. The significance of that is not lost on me. More problems will arise that will make our current issues paltry in comparison. I think you should look at the comments of the others less as dissension in the ranks and more as advice. No one has blatantly gone against your wishes. I mean, Kess sneaks out on loan and whatnot, but there are worse forms of treason. We both know that. In their own way, I believe everyone has done their best to advise you on the path forward.
Indeed. So what's next?
Well, we decide how we want to spin this issue to the council at Elysium. in our previous conversation, it was stated that we would offer them two possible outcomes: the anti-tribute getting the seed, and us, and they would make that decision.
Also, I can. Something like that. Specifically, the letter itself was in a hand you did not recognize. It said the following. All members of the House of Tremere, I regret to inform you that our connection to Vienna is gone. We have no choice to. Vienna has. We ask that you come to us with panic, but have faith that the pyramid will stand it. And then you will see written below hastily, "Rush. The pyramid has. Save what you can. Do what you must." That was written in the hand of your.
As for what's next, Jordy, I believe we will do what we must.
You know that if we get this innocent, that there will be those that struggle to follow through with what's necessary.
I am aware. Beyond that, there'll be with those of us are compromised by outside parties, one of which we know, potentially more.
We need to find a way to ward against whatever's happening to Kess.
I have a surefire way. We slay Caius.
Indeed. Something tells me might not work out how we want. Perhaps a coin toss at best.
It could go one way or another, but isn't life itself a coin toss? If we're going to try, we might as well take the full step.
Indeed, I'm simply stating that I think we might encounter Caius inoptimally, as everything has hit us.
True. That is why we must do what we must to become as strong as possible. But when we do encounter him, we can at least defend ourselves, if not overcome this obstacle.
Indeed.
Regarding the lack of follow-through on the others, I think when faced with Oblivion, they'll find the fortitude to do what they have to do. I don't know what happens to us, kindred, when we do finally die, but I would assume it's not a good thing. I don't wish to meet that fate anytime soon, let alone from a lack of effort.
Suppose we wait then for the others.
Yes.
I'll go. And then with that, he'll walk over to the door and he opens up the door and it's back to the library.
That we're going to cut away. Back. Running down darkened, ancient-looking temple. As you begin to make your way towards the exit, Maru, suddenly begin to hear the words of your sire in your head. Run. Run. Run.
I'm running.
Hasib, you hear Maru exclaim, "I'm running."
She's gonna go in the direction that they took Cass next, because not leaving without him.
in making your. Eventually, you reach a point where you switch direction Cass went. See
This
the
isn't-
many labyrinth extend out.
She's gonna close her eyes for a second. Try to get a sense. Probably would use insight on this potentially. To try and sense which way to go.
Perception. Perception occult.
Okay.
This will be difficulty 7. That is 4 successes. As you focus in, try unravel the location you found yourself. This feels oppressive, as if something dark and ancient takes place constantly. Every statue that's looking, every statue, every piece of art looks as if it's staring directly at you. There's no place. Not in the place. However, you focus in, find S, and you just feel a sense of fear, terror, pain flowing out. You don't know where Kess is. Sure, Kess is.
He's in danger. Something's wrong. We need to find him. To see now. We need to find him.
Right. We shouldn't have split up. Hasib
no.
Hasib looks around. He has. I think we both have pretty good memory. Perhaps if we just started going down a few halls.
All right. Here. She'll just start down one of them.
You begin to run down one of them. Why don't you roll me a d10 and tell me high or low?
You pick, Zach, pick high or low, and I'll roll.
Let's go low.
We watch as you begin tearing. Eventually, stepping a room. However, we'll have to find out what's in that room next week. In the meantime, we're going to cut back over to our group of Jordy, as you begin to turn around to make your way out of your office. Actually, no, your phone's destroyed, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. And never mind. In
I
that
did.
case, the phone in the library.
Quangle will walk over to the phone. Who would call at this time of night? This is ridiculous. He answers the phone.
As you answer the phone, A croaky voice comes. I had to give you an address. Do with it what.
All right, let me get a pen. 1 second. I have to file these things. With whom am I speaking with?
You want the address or not?
Okay. Unknown. All right. I'm ready. The address, please.
He gives you an address.
All right. Thank you. Anything else?
Yes, you be quick after your. Or not. Not my concern. The line goes.
Jordy, I believe the others are in trouble. Some croaky-voiced unknown individual just gave me an address and said to be quick if we want to look after our friends.
Oh, fuck's sake. All right. Well, we're gonna need a ride.
I will call a car. And Quangle calls a car.
Eventually, not long after, a car pulled chantry.
I'll let the quartermaster know we're going out and potentially to a fight before leaving, and I'll grab my bag of instruments.
That. Grab your stuff. As you arm up in whatever way. Way out to the car. Do either of you plan to drive, or do you let the drive?
What car do we even have? It was Jordy's that was smashed. Do we still have the Tremere mobile, or did that get taken by somebody?
You have a Tremere mobile. It just doesn't have any window. Or it doesn't have a window. One of the windows smashed in, and I think you guys put like a plastic bag over it.
Yeah.
I'm
Jordy
not
can
driving
drive. Jordy will drive.
Because Quangle would audibly say, "I'm not driving that," and then he gets into the back seat.
But
He's in a
that's-
specifically every turn is super tight, by the way, just enough to make sure that he's rattled in the back. Lots
Yep.
of bumps too.
Jordy, why don't you make me a Dexter action? Let's do a perception drive. You can use your aspects if you have any. It will be difficult. 7.
They bargained for Dex rather than perception. He's actually better in Dex than perception.
Not in this case. More about your ability to spot things well.
What difficulty did you say?
7.
Driver, mind the road.
I think with that, as you hear that, Jordy, you kind of turn back for a moment. And you notice just out of the corner of your eye, you see someone ahead who's... It's not unusual. However, we then get a perspective of the person that... As we see them walk the street. It's trench coat. And a trench coat that has a hood. We then watch as the figure begins to turn, and we see the glint. At this point, Jordy, you realize the person is no longer standing in them.
Okay. I see the glint of something underneath the coat, and they're standing in the middle of the road.
Yep,
Is that correct?
that is correct.
All right. Foot on the gas, full speed, and he's gonna crouch and just try to run this person over.
We
No
then
questions
watch
asked.
from the perspective of the man. The vehicle begins to speed up. Watch as he pushes his trench coat to the side to reveal a large bastard sword that is slowly pulled forth from its sheath. We then watch as the figure standing forward pushes back the hood to reveal a man with short cropped hair and a cut on his forehead. We then watch as he begins walking forward towards the vehicle, driving towards. We then watch as he crouches slightly and jumps into the air at an inhuman speed before eventually coming down on the front of the vehicle, taking his blade and attempting to shove it through the windshield. We then watch as on his forehead the cut opens wide to become a third eye as Geordie facing down a saloon that has just shoved its sword through the glass and it's inches away from your. It's at that point we're gonna end the session there.
Can I get one comment out? I'm gonna
Yeah,
say
go
a
ahead.
fucking soul eater, and I'm gonna spin the car, spin the wheel. Yeah.
Perfect. With that, we will call the session there. I hope you have enjoyed watching us and enjoyed the craziness as everything is starting to come to a head, and things are certainly not slowing down for our unlucky. With that, let's do some outros. This week, let's start off with Bob. Give us an outro.
Hey everybody, Ticking Time Bob Gaming here. I run a bunch of Pendragon over on my stream alongside Legend of the Five Rings and playing a lot of Mark's vampire games. Actually, I also like vampire quite a bit. I just don't host the vampire games. We leave that for the CatsMeow show. I also do TTRPG talks where I sit down with game designers to discuss the games we love. Please check that out if you can. It's on Spotify and on YouTube, on my channel on YouTube. We'll also be resuming with Pendragon next week, so keep an eye out for that. Thanks. It's been a lot of fun, and thanks for having me, Mark.
Up next, Ree. Why don't you give us your outro?
Hey guys, I'm Ree. I had a great time today. Oh boy, lots of action happening. Things are great for the Tremere. I love playing here on Mark's channel. You can also catch me playing with Mortal Rolls on Mondays. We do a Pathfinder 2nd edition game, Greek and Roman mythology inspired. It's a lot of fun. Sometimes I'm on Bob's channel as well for the Legends of the Five Rings game on Saturdays. And sometimes I'm on my own channel drawing. And yeah, this is awesome. Thanks, Mark.
And of course, a big thank you to Ree once again for all the lovely art that she, all the lovely character arts and lovely. Zach, why don't you give us your outro?
Yeah, well, I'm Zach, and tonight I played Hasib, who just baffled at this point. It seemed like a nice place, this underground, like sunken subway temple of loveliness, and then existence or something is now being threatened. Add the problem onto the pile. We have a giant pile of problems now. And we're definitely going to solve them all one at a time, as a group, as a unit, as a family. It's fine. It's all fine. Can't wait for next session when Caius, just Caius, when Caius.
And last but certainly not least, Cyber-Ro, why don't you give us your outro?
All right. Hey, I am Cyber-Ro. If you want to find me, I'm usually on Bob's channel, and I'm also here. Tonight I played Dr. Quentin Quangle, delving into the inner mysteries that is the Regent Geordie. One day I'll figure him out. One day.
Excited for more unraveling. Has multiple meanings in this case. With that, I have been Mark, aka the CatsMeow. I hope you. I also run another game on Fridays at, I want to say it's 6 p.m. EST. Where I'm running currently the Court of Mithras, a series set in medieval England, around the baronies of Avalon and the Lord of Light himself. So please join us there when you have time. Special guest John Wick. I think he's done RPG chat with you. Alright, nonetheless, come join us. I also sometimes stream other things. For example, Shadowrun Dragonfall Mondays. So other than that, check out my YouTube channel, or if you're watching on the YouTube channel, like, comment, subscribe, follow, subscribe, but with money that time. And come join us for a fun of vampiric and roll. I think with that, we're gonna go to the outro screen, and then we're gonna read out. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you next week, and I hope you have better luck. Unfortunate Tremere, but we'll have to see how things go. Good night, all.